Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends. I forgot to put myself in my own stream. Welcome to the match reaction. I'm, of course, your host, the Gov. It is finished Man City 4, Ipswich Town 1. We're here to discuss what we just saw. So please do get active in our live chat. Apologies for not putting myself in my own stream there. I mean, I've been doing this for 4 years now. Don't forget, like, subscribe, all of that. Sid Cup says we poked the bear too early. We had a good game overall. We brought a bit of pressure on for the second goal. Not disappointed. Bring on Fulham. Alex Steele. Anyone remember when Walton conceded 5 to Bolton in his debut? These two games don't define our season. Played well other than the 12 minutes or so. Lots of you piling in. So welcome one, welcome all. Don't forget we are live tomorrow 1 p.m. for a more in-depth look at the game today, but it has finished Man City 4, Ipswich Town 1. And it was going to be a tough start to the season, wasn't it? Liverpool first game, Man City second, and Man City are by and far an incredible football team. Just an incredible football team. Levels above, or certainly ourselves today, but most teams that I've seen in the Premier League on the TV. I mean, even if you just like take your eyes off the ball for a second, every player moves, every player puts it in absolute shift, just absolute levels above. And going to be a great side. Yeah, and Pep Guardiola is one of the best managers to manage inside the Premier League. But what do you thought about Ipswich Town's performance today? Let us know. We'll start with Curtis. Curtis, welcome in. What are your thoughts following that game today?
I don't know. I find it hard to be too disappointed with games like this because obviously you go into it not expecting anything really out of it anyway. But I thought we did well to take the lead. I said to a friend, the first 10 minutes I said there'd be a goal. Didn't really think it'd be on our side. But hey ho, we've got our first Premier League goal, and it was a nice little tidy finish, just right under him.
It took forever to go in, though, didn't it? I don't know about yourself, but it was like
it did feel a bit slow motion, didn't it? It did, just as it was trickling in. It did. But it's one of them. I thought, and then I thought after that, I thought the penalty, the VAR, the penalty. I think it took the wind out of our sails a bit.
Yeah.
And then I think it took us 5-10 minutes to actually collect ourselves, and unfortunately, they did the damage in that 5-10 minutes. But a team like that. That's I think that's another lesson learned. I think it shows that there's no downtime. But again, I find it a bit hard, and I don't know whether it's just because we are where we are now, and it's come a lot sooner than what we all thought, and like us being in the Premier League and all that. But I find it hard to be too disappointed with games like this because I never expected to get anything from them anyway, except a good performance, which I thought, obviously, bar that 3-goal spell. I thought we kind of held our own a bit, and against lesser opposition, I thought we'd obviously you have to remember that they did also hit the bar twice.
Yeah.
But I didn't think we embarrassed ourselves against the best team in the Premier League. I don't think we really did embarrass ourselves that much.
I think one thing you certainly can't do in the Premier League, but particularly against the champions, and a very dominant side, as I said in the intro, like Manchester City, is sort of, give them gimmies and layups. And we did that a little bit, which is obviously things we'll take back to the training ground and work on. But you can't do that in the Premier League. You can't do that arguably at any level, but particularly when you're playing, the world-class players that we're playing. But that first 8 minutes, let's sort of hone in there for a minute, because we started the game really well. Sammy's got a great goal. It's a great counter attack from us. Really, off the training ground level of a counter attack. Good finish. And how did you see sort of Sammy's game today? I thought it was great to get him up and running and score in the Premier League.
I think it's one of them. I think any new player, when they come down to a new club, I think they want to hit the ground running. And I think he's just carried on his form from Blackburn. I think for a player that's clearly had a bit of a rough few weeks in terms of not knowing where he's going to be, whether he's going to be staying at Rovers or whether he's going to come to us, and the bit of the back and forth throughout all that. I think he just carried on his own form. I thought he took his chance well. Like we said just then, it went a bit slow-mo when it was going in. But again, he's now scored his first Premier League goal, which I think if you take that into account just on its own, I think he'll be absolutely delighted with that, and therefore he's already off the mark. And I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. It's nice to see players like that who've been through the system and are now getting their chance in that division. And it's one of them. If you go a few games without the goal, this one he could be questioning his own abilities, whether he could cut it at that level. Whereas I think to get it so soon, I think it's beneficial for him. And I thought his overall play today, I thought it was fine. It was fine. It was exactly what I would have expected, because I was never expecting our attacking threat to get much time out of this game. Because if you look at most of the game, we did seem to be penned in our half for most of it, which again was expected. I'm not sure what the area stats are like, but I'm sure that they'll show that we didn't really press them too much. But I thought he did. I thought he did his job well for what he could have done, and I was happy with him. Yeah, I was happy with him.
Okay, excellent. Anything else you want to say before I bring Coxie in for his reaction, his view?
Yeah, I think it's going to be easy today to say that Muric was at fault for certainly one of them. Again, it was a tough game to come into. It is a tough game to come into against a striker like Haaland. The problem is with the way we play. I suppose the issue is the reason why we take that extra touch at the back is to draw them in, don't we? We take that extra touch to try and draw them in, and therefore, if they come a bit closer, we try and get it out and almost break them like that. But unfortunately, today it didn't work, and again, I think it backfires on us. But it stayed at 3-1 for a long time. Then at the end, it was 4-1, and I think it was just a bit of a mad 5 minutes that. And again, we'll only really know the strength of this squad from the next game onwards, because by all accounts, we've got 2, maybe 3 more signings coming in at some point soon. And then we've still got Calvin Phillips to come on and Jens Kajusta to fully make an impact. So this team is not a settled team by far. And I think this team that you are seeing right now, I think there'll be a few players who will either drop to the bench or they might stop making matchday 18s. So these games, none of us ever expected anything. I think the best thing for us all was we were just hoping that we could get a couple of half decent performances out of them to take into the next few games, which I think even the most generous Ipswich fan will say. I don't think we've embarrassed ourselves really in the first 2 games against Champions League caliber, top of the Premier League caliber opposition. I don't think we've embarrassed ourselves.
Yeah. Excellent, Curtis. Appreciate you coming on, man. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening. Thanks very much for your time. I'll bring Coxie in. Coxie, Curtis says there, we've not embarrassed ourselves. And Norman says Merson, I think it means Paul Merson, has said based on our second half performance, we have nothing to worry about. What are your thoughts, first of all, before I jump into sort of little bits of information or what Coxie was talking about, Curtis was talking about there? What's your thoughts on the overall 90, particularly the second half? Because as Merson says, according to Norman, nothing to worry about after that.
Yeah, great comments there by Curtis, I have to say. The second half performance did Kieran change it? Did Man City sort of ease off the gas a bit? We don't know really. Hopefully, the first bit there, it was Kieran. We went out sort of to try and sort of bit of damage limitation because it could have been more. Coxie living in the Matrix, yeah. My life is one big Matrix, mate.
On Muric, though, obviously Curtis mentioned Muric. We've every goalkeeper's had these mistakes. It's a part and parcel of being a goalkeeper that plays out from the back. Great comment here from our chat, Teddy G. Muric's a bit of a howler today, but can't judge him on this game. Was a baptism of fire today. Wharton and Ladkin made similar mistakes in their town careers. He did make a hell of a save second half, and he did. That was a fantastic save in the second half. And yes, it's the mistake that some fans will be walking away with, sort of talking about, looking at. And of course, because mistakes, unfortunately, for the goalkeeper normally mean goals, but they happen. We've seen goalkeepers. We mustn't, as fans, judge him too early, and particularly on that mistake. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you can't judge him on that mistake, but it depends. You sort of you do sort of have that second of hesitation there, and the team like Man City are going to pounce, and they did pounce. So it was a mistake. The important thing is he learns from that. Same with for me the penalty which we gave away is a bit that we are seeing from Leif Davis's game. He has still got that naivety in him. And now we saw it against when he played away at Leeds last season, and before anybody says yes, I think the foul on him.
I was going to say, let's flip that.
Should have been a penalty for me, but
I agree.
I know we've been away for 22 years, but looks like nothing's changed. You don't get these decisions at the big grounds at Anfield and the Etihad and the things like that. But yeah, for me, if that was a penalty, then then the foul on Leif was definitely a penalty as well.
I think he can't dive in there. I think you've got to stay on your feet, particularly with with VAR and everything else. You can't make a decision. You can't give the referee or the VAR team a decision to make. You've got to stay on your feet there. But again, looking at it, watching it, I still can't categorically say it was a penalty, but it was given, so it was a penalty. Whereas the other one, I can't work out how it's not given, Coxie. I really, for the life of me, can't, because there's a penalty all day long for me. It's stone wall, is it not?
Definitely, yeah. The challenge on Leif for me was a penalty. There perhaps. The VAR thing was whether it's in or out of the area, perhaps, but Leeds was definitely in the area. It was definitely a foul challenge and definitely a penalty to us. But you don't get more than you don't get them, do you? No, nothing's changed in 20 odd years. Yeah.
As Mark says, glad the first two games are done. Fulham are going to be the real measure of where we are in this league, and I think that's what many fans have been saying, Coxie, hasn't it? Since the fixture list really came out, that the first 3 hits, see what you can get, but certainly the season. And Fulham are no easy team, but the season certainly starts from a Man City, Liverpool in the league above that they are, because it is 2 divisions inside the Premier League, if not 3, arguably. But certainly the season starts Saturday onwards. Is that something you go along with?
Yeah. We look at the 2 teams we played. Like you said, Man City are the best team in the country. They're the current champions. Liverpool last week, they've won everything time and time again. So. As much as we like to have got some out of them games, and but we didn't. But yeah, the season, the games coming up now, we've got to look to get points or a point. Going forward to these games now, we go into the Fulham, and then we get another bloody international break, and then off we go again. We then got Brighton, Southampton, and then. The Villa at home as well, so their games you've got to look to try and get something out of.
Okay, Coxie, before I let you go and bring in Lee, anything else you'd like to add that you've not yet spoken about, or have you said everything you came to say?
No, not really. Just respect to the Ipswich fans today. You could hear them above all the what you want to call Man City, then all these sort of the prawn sandwich brigade there. They outsung them. They're probably the men of the match today, if you can give it to the supporters. So, well done to the Blue Army.
It's almost like you've read my running order, because that was my very next point. The fantastic away following. It doesn't matter if you listened on the radio, however you consumed the game today. All you could hear was Town fans. So absolutely full.
And again,
every single one of them.
Has the game changed in 20 years? Last week. I've been to Portman Road in Liverpool many times against us, and the Liverpool fans never shut up, but they were quiet as anything. A little bit of singing after they scored, and today wasn't much better at the mighty Etihad. So there you go. Well done to the Blue Army.
Okay, excellent, Coxie. Appreciate you. Look after yourself. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening. Thanks for your time. We got some great comments coming in. Keep them coming in. There's also a link if you should so wish to click it. Come on the platform and have your say about anything Ipswich Town related. We've got obviously the news this morning in regards to Broja, and he's moved from Chelsea, possibly on the verge of collapse, and obviously the game that we've seen this afternoon. So anything you want to come on and have your say about, click that link. It's your platform. And only you can say your opinion in the way you want to say it. So, Lee, welcome in. What are your thoughts, first of all, on Man City 4, Ipswich Town 1?
We were in dreamland, weren't we? At the start, we were in absolute dreamland when Smolitz went through and scored. My living room, there were 6 of us in there watching the game. Absolutely mental. And then within 5 minutes, We were 3-1 down, and I think, just looking at that sort of passage of play, we had that against Liverpool. We had those 5 minutes against Liverpool where we conceded 2 goals, and it's something that we've got to get out of our game. I think we had it against Leeds twice last season, both home and away, where we had a short spell where we just didn't get a grip of the game, and that will happen more in the Premier League if we don't sort that out. But it was a free hit. Is that the right word? I'm not sure. But as a team, as a club, we will get better with the players that are coming in. But Man City, I mean, they're just on a different level, aren't they?
Levels above, aren't they? Absolutely,
miles above.
So
Absolutely
good to watch. Like if you take your blue glasses off and remove your love for Town for a minute, they're a lovely team to watch. They play with so much. I mean, they could play the game at half the tempo they play at. That's how good they are. But obviously their manager, being such a great manager that he is, doesn't allow them to do that. And so we ain't going to be the first team they steamroll. And there's every single player put a shift in today. In a Town burgundy shirt for me. We had our issues in the first half. Players make mistakes. I think we're learning that at this level, isn't it? That mistakes get pounced on very quickly, and they're ruthless with when they come in the Premier League. And that's a part of playing, arguably, the country's best team.
Well, yes, and no. I think we were the architects of our own downfall. I mean, particularly with Muric. I mean, let's not judge him on one game, of course, but he was probably a fault for definitely 1, maybe 2 goals. I mean, you can't. I mean, the first, his first mistake was, I mean, just you can't.
He's caught on the ball, isn't he? Which happens with goalkeepers play out from the back.
But it's been there it's been there in pre-season. It's been there in pre-season. He's got to learn to know when to kick it. I think,
but he won't do that. I don't think he'll do that, will he? But I don't think that's McKenna way. That this is our style. We saw it last year with Hladky.
It's easy in hindsight, of course, but it's not the first. It's not the first time that I've seen him hesitant on the ball, and it will take time for him to settle in. Let's be clear. So it's not like knocking in, let's take him out of the team. I'm just seeing the game as it is. The third goal, a lot of good goalkeepers would probably pedal back and sit on their 6-yard box for the third one. So the third one for me is more about decision making. I think, again, in hindsight, we can say, well, he could have done that. But I think he could have dropped back with the cover that's maybe there. So he's outside his box. He's not going to get the ball, and Haaland's done it. So that's decision making for me. So,
but he recovered from it. You're fairly.
Oh, what a save he made second half. Well, yes, he did, and we tried to play. I get that. And all credit to the team. They were trying to play out as best we can. And that, that for me is a credit to the team. But as we said in commentary, sometimes you've just, you have got to clear the lines. And if it's not on and you're hesitant, it's just got to go and just recycle from there. But he will learn. Hopefully he'll get better with that. But Szmodics for me, first half, brilliant. What a signing he is. And he's just shown that, in his first half, why we've bought him. All the players that are coming in, they're all top drawer. That 11 players that are coming in are, I say replace, and that's not fair. They're all an upgrade on what we already have. And that's what you have to have. If you're going to progress, you've got to have that. And Szmodics is one of those. Is one of those players, and let's not forget Broadhead, of course, because on his day he plays a different game. But Szmodics for me, he's got a bit more direct, that that sort of attitude, more directness. I think he'll cause a few problems in the Premier League. Sure.
Now you're going to believe us. You can't just argue with the top two teams in the league. And I don't think anybody is judging us against Liverpool and Manchester City. I'm proud of the boys. I think they're the best two games that we could have wished for. Ball and Blue, why is everyone so negative? We've not been disgraced against two world-class teams. I don't think everyone's negative, or if anyone's sounding down because their team just lost. And I think that's natural when your team loses, despite the step up in quality, despite the expectation you're going to get beat. But no, I'm very proud of the team this afternoon. I'm very proud of the shift they put in. I'm very proud of the things they can take forward, the positives. And one of the positives, Lee, and you mentioned the new signings there, is Delap. That boy just oozes quality. He is absolutely magnificent. Every minute I watch him, I fall further in love with him, Lee. How did you see his performance today?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure if he's even bought as a number 9. I'm not sure if McKenna sees him as that, but he's got strength, he's got power, he led the line well. But again, there was, I think he's still raw, and I think he's just going to get better and better. But there was a time where there was a through ball, I'm not sure it's first half or second half, I can't remember now, where he just got that pass wrong. And he did one against Liverpool last week where Omari went through it, just went behind him. That's hypercritical. I get that, but I do agree he's going to be one hell of a player for us. And he's got that flick with his right foot, and down that left hand channel. He did it twice today. He did it last week at Liverpool. He's definitely got something about him, but he needs the support around him. And it comes back to the real point is you've got to have a foothold in the game, and it can't be on the counter attack all the time. At some point, you've got to have some control of the game, and I think we'll see that.
We'll see that. I think moving. You're not going to get much control certainly against Pep Guardiola's Man City and Arne Slot's Liverpool. That I think we'll see that control come through. And I think you're going to say that yourself before I jumped in. Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, no, totally agree. He's a real player, and look at all our recruitment. Our recruitment is not just about having players for now; it's about development, and I think that's
for sure
a real key issue. Of course, we want to stay in the Premier League, but I just wonder if there's a bit of, if we didn't stay in, and I'm not saying we won't, but these players that we're bringing in are on lower wage than what you would get from a established Premier League player. So the hunger will always be there. And I think it's about development of the team, regardless of what league you're in. And the lab just fits that in absolutely bundles.
Absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree. Lee, appreciate you coming on a Saturday night, and thanks for giving me your time. I really do appreciate it.
Anything else you want? Can I just please?
That's the next question. That was the next question.
Please. Just one last thing. The fans today. I know I always say it, but all I could hear was Ipswich. All the songs, absolutely brilliant. And all those 3,000 that travelled away, and the majority of those fans have been through League One for years and years. I salute you, and brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Nothing else. They were just loud and proud.
Excellent. Lee, look after yourself, and thank you for your time on a Saturday night. I really do appreciate it.
Cheers,
80
guys.
There, I was expecting a 3-1 result, but not after 70 minutes. But on a positive note, we'll hold on for nearly 3/4 fractions on a Saturday night, 80. We're doing something, pal. Now those first two games are out of the way, we can begin our season. Now you're going to believe me, nothing will bring me down after 20 years of absolute crap. It's going to take us time to assemble this team. Absolutely. Don't forget, you can carry the conversation over on our Discord, over on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter. I still call it Twitter. And you get access to Discord by becoming a YouTube member. Hit the join button today, $4.99, cancel at any point. Time for one more. Josh, you're the last town fan on this evening. What are your thoughts?
Expected it, didn't we, to be honest with you? You can't be too disheartened. I mean, we all said it at the start. Liverpool and Man City were 3 hits. But to be fair, we made a good account of ourselves again, to be honest. Like Curtis said, we didn't embarrass ourselves. Not at all.
No, some really good things to take out of the game, as there was against Liverpool, and some things. But you're going to take walk away, watch the game tape back, learn from it, and then, let's be honest, flush it and forget it ever happened. Season's not defined by these first two. Certainly not today. I mean, as I said earlier in the show, Josh, and you see a lot of football, and you obviously on your socials talk about Premier League football. Man City at absolute levels above. Just a fantastic side.
They are. I mean, it shows when we're bringing on Edmondson and Harness, and they're bringing on Grealish and Gundogan.
I mean, absolutely. Taking players out of the equation, just their movement, just the simple things in football that you have to do to earn the right to be superstars and quality players. And and as I said earlier, they're a team I really do believe could play at half the tempo they play at and still steamroll teams. But the management is so good, doesn't allow them to. And I can't say enough positive things about Man City today. Having now watched Liverpool and Man City, not saying Liverpool are not certainly going to be up there, but Man City were levels. So that said, we did give them some give me's, but there's some really positives to take away from the game. Before I close the show, give us some last thoughts on it. You've seen the whole 90. What's your last thoughts?
I thought Delap was excellent again. That guy's going to be some player for us, 100%. Schmoddix is a class signing again. I know a lot of people on socials are doubting us signing Schmoddix, but not many people score at City, especially at Etihad, and that man took the only chance we had. I said last week he was going to be our top goal scorer. I stand by it.
And that's a positive to take away from the game, because that's a really nice counter-attack from us. We win it on the edge of our 18-yard box, and we spring a counter on Man City with speed, with and with real direction in terms of where we need to go with the ball and how we're going to hurt you on this counter. And it's a great run by Sammy. It's absolutely beautiful. He times it well, and then he's just got the goalie to beat. And he beats him. However, however long it took to get over the line, Josh, it beat him.
That was a goal.
And that's a really good positive takeaway. And we had some moments in the second half, particularly when Harness came on and there was that pinball in the area. Just wanted someone there to sort of just fire a shot away, right?
Yeah, 100%. Also, what we'll say is, if we do get that penalty and we score it, it's a different game, in my opinion. We get the second goal, we get momentum. But
that's a big shout.
I won't talk about that because that was a crazy decision. But there you go.
That's a big shout. All right, Josh, appreciate you coming on the show tonight. Look after yourself. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. We are live tomorrow, 1 p.m, where we go a bit more in depth. Me and Matty Phillips. This has been the match reaction. Man City 4, Ipswich Town 1. Excuse me. Join the conversation on our social media. I'm off to cough, it would appear so. But enjoy your Saturday night, and we will speak to you all very, very soon. Bye-bye. Talking Town, proud to partner with Match Bingo. Play Match Bingo, win cash prizes. And each time you play, support the crucial work of the East Anglian Air Ambulance. Download the app through your App Store or Google Play, or however you get your apps. Match Bingo. Play Match Bingo, win cash prizes. Over 18s only, be gamble aware. SolarWise Roofing and Building Services Limited. Solar panels, roofing services, UPVC roofline, groundwork services and more. Call 01206 628 544, that's 01206 628 544, or visit solarwiseroofingandbuilding.co.uk. Stowmarket Osteopaths. Freddie's the governor here. Give him a call on 01449 613 633. Don't live life in pain. Visit Stowmarket Osteopaths for physiotherapy, osteopath, Pilates and more. That's Stowmarket Osteopaths on 01449 613 633.